Hello, this is Kara from Kara Tarot with a general reading for Wednesday, the 16th of July, 2025. I'm using two decks today. I'm using the Brigh Minchiate Tarot and the Peculiar Pathways Tarot in a 3-card spread, the third dimension spread by Vincent Pitisci. I just had a jumper, so that's my first card. Oh, and I wanted to say before I start, my intention today is I'm actually doing a reading for a young friend who is about to go to college. So this is, I don't do predictive readings, but this is just about her and her experiences leaving home, going to college. Okay. So the topic is, oh, the Fool. And I'll continue shuffling now since that was a jumper. Things that might work against you. Aries, the Ram. And things that may be coming into focus. The 5 of Pentacles, struggling. Just a reminder that any reading is just kind of taking the temperature of where things are now. They're not immutable. The choices you make will always make differences in the decision. The decisions and differences in the outcomes. So now I'm adding the additional 3 that go with this reading layout. It's a 3x3 layout. I'm going to have to lift this up a little bit. There we go. Give us a little more room. My holder is in the way of this spot right here, so I always have to try to judge where that is without seeing it. Okay, so the Fool is actually a great card for embarking on something new, because it does mean that you have this childlike attitude. Here, the Fool in these historic decks is kind of fighting with children. These are actually water bottles that are held on a stick. It's a way people carried water with them back then. So it's not that he's necessarily beating them. Probably the children are chasing him, but so there is a childlike innocence. The feathers are about flights of fancy. The green means that there is a lot of growth potential here. And the Fool generally is fools and madmen, so to be able to grow, you have to take a chance, and that could be considered to be mad. Working against that is Aries, which is a leader, and that certainly fits my friend. Leadership, the sleeping dog in the background, and Aries here is jumping up and leading, but it also can mean Aries can also be kind of very much butting into things, wanting to control things and keep them a certain way. And so that can get in the way of your having an open mind and a freedom of experience, is that you want to try to control things and keep them in a certain pattern and the way that you want them to be, rather than letting things unfold the way they might unfold naturally. The potential outcome here is the Five of Coins. This is struggling. Five of Coins often has to do with financial struggle, and not so much interpersonal struggle, although these two people have, none of these people are looking at each other, so that's part of it. And that, to me, these all fit with the beginning of college experiences. Everybody's very much engaged in their own issues. And often that first year of college is difficult because you are struggling to assess where you are, and also whether you need a side job. So a lot of people for going through college, because there are always unexpected expenses and figuring out living situations. So this is kind of par for the course. All three of these, I'd say, are par for the course of starting out on a college career. Now, these cards flesh out these things, and so we're going to look a little more deeply now at. So the Fool is bounded by the Six of Cups, which usually has to do with childhood memories, and the Queen of Wands, which is an individuality, an ownership of yourself and your emotions and your creativity, and also highly invested in learning. So these are, again, really typical for the first year of college. There probably will be some homesick. You're going to have these lovely floral memories of home. And while things where you are seem to be moving very slowly and moving backwards towards these memories. So those moments are going to come juxtaposed with this forward-looking attitude and growth attitude and creative attitude of, you may feel like you're crawling forward at times, but it's very much forward-looking. The Queen of Wands is known for being a creative, individual, highly individual person who's very self-actualized and a very good friend, dependable for other people. So these people, these two dichotomies are going to be operating with this openness as you approach the new year and approach all sorts of, childish dilemmas, in the sense that they're small dilemmas. They're not big dilemmas. They're just the dilemmas of moving forward in a new area. As far as the things that are working against you, okay, we have the Queen of Wands here that we just talked about. And we also have the Nine of Wands, which is feeling, and here we're looking in both directions. We're looking forward, and with sitting on a skull, and which for this bird would be a very good thing. This bird has had a meal. And the wolf is looking backwards too. The wolf would very much like to eat this ram, or the sleeping dog. This path is taking us forward, but there's a fork in this path if you look carefully. So there are a couple different ways to go. So this aspect of being very controlled, of wanting to control the outcomes, is tempered by the openness of this Queen of Wands and her own individuality. That individuality can add into this single-mindedness of purpose, but that individuality can also help open you up. And notice she's not looking at this. She's looking up and over, out towards the flower. So she's looking beyond her own thoughts. Sunflowers are great happiness in general. They represent great happiness. These red flowers are passion. So, and notice that these are two animals of prey, a bird of prey and a mammal of prey. So when you add that and a forked road to this, looking both backward and forward, I'd say there may be a little too much of an element of going it on your own. These are both highly individual cards. And so with the bird of prey, if you're going too much on your own, not only does that mean that you can inadvertently prey on other people, but it also means that you can open yourself up to be prey to others. So you need to be sure that you are using these skills to bring others along, so that whatever path you end up going on, you're not going alone. And then finally, this struggle, which I said is kind of an inherent struggle. We have this is looking backwards, this is looking backwards, this wolf is taking us back to these elements of, especially if you've had a very successful high school career, that can make the beginning of college a little harder, because you're going to have to find your footing. You're going to struggle to find your footing in that new environment. But this is telling you that you also have the strength to fly forward. I'm trying to see, that's a triangle in the bird's beak, but it has little rings on it as well. So I may not know what that is. That may be something that, I suspect that is something that holds a tether, which would be, these tethers with multiple rings were used to hold birds that have been caught. So this is the bird taking control, and so it's not going to be caught because it has taken control of where it would normally be caught. So struggles are normal part of life. Looking backwards to past successes is normal, but look how lush and green this is. Blue skies, green forest, passionate red flowers. This is like the height of summer, and you definitely have the capacity to fly forward from any losses. At any time, you can take off and fly forward and not be encumbered. And I like to cap my readings with a Lenormand card or an oracle card, and this time I'm using the Spirit card. And the Spirit card reminds us that we are not alone, and to listen and believe in our gut feelings and our hunches. It calls us to pay attention to all the synchronicities happening around us and the synchronicities that the world is trying to communicate with us. On some occasions, it might simply be talking about your inner spirit, an entity from the other side, an ancestor that we need to be aware of or listen to, even if it's the support of people in your lives. On the other hand, it can just be a gentle, supportive presence. But this is that intuitive feeling of going with, ultimately, considering everything that goes on from moment to moment, trusting your inner spirit, your inner voice. You have the world in your hands. You have the power of fire in your spirit. So this is just to remember that you have an inner guidance, in addition to all of the external things that you can depend on and build a framework with. You have your inner spirit, which is stronger than you know. This is Kara from Kara Tarot. I hope you have a purposeful day. If this reading resonates with you today, also, I directed this reading at a particular person, but this is also the general reading for the day. So it may resonate with you, and if it does, I hope your spirit will lead you forward with strength and certainty. Thank you.